right, today in music we are going to be learning about writing music, so that's about actually composing. So go ahead and think for a minute and tell me, what is your favorite type of music, genre, or a favorite musician? Or a favorite musician. Okay, so if you have an answer, raise your hand if you have one of those things. Favorite type of music or a favorite musician? Izzy?
Classical.
Classical, okay, so that's your favorite type of music. Joseph?
Upbeat.
Upbeat, okay, so lively, upbeat.
80s rock.
80s rock, okay. Haziel?
Rap.
Rap, okay, so rap is a really good example for what we're thinking about today and what we're talking about today, because when we're talking about writing music today, we're focusing on the mathematical part of that. And rap has got a really strong beat, and rap's a great example of what your brain and your ear already know without anyone ever having to tell you this, okay? No one has to tell you this, and every composer knows this. So we're going to use 4/4 time today because it's the easiest to work with. Okay, so we're going to use that as our time. And right here I have a whole note for us. That whole note in 4/4 time equals how many beats? How many beats? Who knows? Izzy?
4.
4 beats. Okay, so there's 4 beats. So every bar of music, when a composer's writing in 4/4 time, has 4 beats in it, but those can be broken up in different ways. Now, what I've written for you here is if I used 4 quarter notes, and I've even labeled them quarter notes, and when I take those 4 notes together, 4 quarter notes, they equal 1 whole note. But if all music were written that way, if all music were just each beat divided into even parts, it would be very boring. And we know music is not like that. So we're going to stick with just 4 choices for writing our music. And most of us will get either half note, quarter note, or 1/8 note. In this bag today that you're making your choices from, there are no 16th notes. But if we do really well with this today, next week we could try it with 16th notes. So we're going to compose our music out of these, using these measures of a beat, okay? So I've got an example for us, just a visual for us of thinking about, I'm going to write some music right here, and I'm focusing primarily today on the length of the notes. So my full measuring cup is a whole note, okay? Then I've got a half note, the same thing that I've got right here. I've got a half note, I've got a quarter note, and I have an 1/8 note. Okay, so these are the kinds of notes, but each bag is different of notes that we're going to pull out. So if I make my first note in my piece of music, if I decide that I'm going to do a half note first, that's kind of got some good effect. I'm going to pour it into the measuring cup. I'm going to go ahead and write it, and I'm going to start my music fairly low. So I'm going to start down here, and that's my first note, and it's a half note. So I've got the rest of this bar of music that I can fill up. And Laura, what do you want me to do next? What kind of note? Half note's been taken, so I can't use it again. So I've got quarter note or 1/8 note. What should I use next? Okay, so I'm going to use a quarter note. So pull that out because it's a fraction of a whole. Dump it in with so my notes, my full note is getting fuller, but it's not all the way full yet. So a quarter note looks like this. So I'm going to go way up on my quarter note. My piece of music is going really high. Okay, so I've used a half note, a quarter note. So what could I do next? I only have 2 possibilities. Anybody got some ideas of what I could do next here in my bar of music? Travis?
Another quarter note.
I could do another quarter note, and we will go ahead and do that. Since Travis suggested that, I'll go ahead and measure out another quarter note, and I'm going to just kind of pour it in carefully. I now have a completely full note. There's my bar of music. It's 1 full note. My bar here is made up of a half and 2 quarters. And let's see how it sounds. Let's go ahead and see how my music sounds. So I've got the piano here, and I have, okay, so, just looking here. Oh, hold on, we're not on the right kind of music. There we go. All right. Okay, so half, quarter, quarter, okay? But I can't guarantee you that's what you're going to get in your bag. So you're going to pull out a set of notes. I've made different sets of notes in here. You're going to pull it out and you're going to lay it out. Just lay it out across your sheet of paper, okay? And then think about what you want your music to sound like. Do you want your music starting low and going higher? Or do you want kind of like hip hop where it's just, you know, it stays within a fairly tight range? All of you are going to get a different set of notes. Okay, there's no doubles of the notes in here. You're writing 2 bars of music. So that means you've got, altogether, you've got enough to make 8 beats. So you need to pull them out of the bag, lay them out. I'll go ahead and do one also. If you need to come up and use the rice, you may. If you feel like you've got to use that rice to figure out what you're doing. Okay, so Hazia, can you come up here with me? We'll look at mine first, okay, and then I'll come back and look at yours with you. So let you come and see what I've got. What I got, oh, I pulled out a really complicated one. Okay, so I've got 2 half notes, I've got 3 quarter notes, and 2 eighth notes. Okay, so if you were going to just start with this, what do you think you might do just to make it easy for yourself? Maybe put a half note on each side. Okay, so so if you think of that, that's beat 1, 2, and then we've got beat 1, 2 here also. Okay, so that kind of just makes it a little bit easier with what we've got left to look at. Okay, so go ahead and see if you have any idea how you might divide these. Not where they're going to go in the lines, but just divide them as an equation. So we've got 2 quarter notes, we've got another quarter note, and 2 eighth notes. Well, if we put the 2 quarter notes here on this one, we could count it off and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 beats.
Right.
Okay. Then here we've got 1, 2. Okay, so go ahead and move those over. So you want to put those 2 first. Okay, so that together they're beat 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then beat 4. Okay? So then I have to decide after that point, I'm going to go ahead and decide how I want my music to sound. Okay, you can run back to your seat and just see, lay them out, just see if by laying them out you'll have a feel for, when you lay them out, see if you have a feel for how they work out. Okay, so Laura got something very simple. She got 4 half notes, which doesn't make the most exciting music. Would you like to trade with me? Or do you like this? I think I'm going to trade with you because mine is going to make a lot prettier piece, okay? So as soon as you've got it laid out where it's divided up properly between the 2 bars, I'll come around and take a glance at it. Go ahead and start filling in, go ahead and actually start writing the notes, okay? So let me take a glance at your divisions and see. Okay, so you've got 3 beats here and you've got 3 beats here. So you just have 2 more notes to put out, 1 on each side. So they've got to be even, okay? Okay, so you're not quite ready yet. You're not ready for me to see what you've got. Okay, so let's see here. You've got 1, 2, 3. So is this one supposed to actually be on this side here? Okay, there you go. Yeah, you're good. Okay, so you're good. You can keep drawing. And then you have several things that help you read your music to label where the notes are actually found so that you'll be able to come and play on the piano. Okay, so are you going to put all the quarter notes on this side? Or are they all going on this side?
No, I'll just.
Okay,
that's just kind of how
you're still thinking about it, okay? Because if you put them all there, and that's fine, you would be dun 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 dun. You know, if you want that sound like that, you want to kind of think about what sort of sound do I want? Okay, so let's see. All right, very good. You're ready to start writing. So as soon as you've got it divided properly, slide them up, and then go ahead and start placing them on the music staff within the bar itself. Okay, so you've got 2 bars like this. So you're going to start writing them, and you're not going to worry terribly about what it sounds like, because you're guessing what it's going to sound like. But mathematically, it's correct. And really, the first part of writing music is understanding the math that you have to do. You have to do this math. Then you start thinking about, what do I want it to sound like? What do I want that music to sound like? So you're going to use your Sharpie, and you're going to write the notes just exactly the way they look. And I'm using Laura's 4 half notes. Yes.
I'm missing a quarter note.
Oh. Okay, so can you just go ahead and write the quarter note in then? Yeah, your bag must have had a little error to it. Oh, you know what? Here it is right here. Here's your, there you go. That's good you noticed that though.
Miss Myers.
Yes.
Can you come take my
Yes, I can check yours. Let's see if you, okay, yeah, looks great. Looks great. You've got your 2/8 notes together, your quarter. Yep, you look great.
Can we check mine?
Are you ready to play some music, do you think, maybe? Because what I wanted you to try is playing it on the piano and then also trying to play it on the recorder. Okay, so we've got, so one of these you're going to have to decide which one of these is a quarter note. You've labeled 2 of them as half notes, so one needs to be a quarter, one needs to be shorter. And that's right, that's all good. Just fill in one. So this is going to need to be on this side, okay? That's going to have to be on that side because that's, you've got 2 half notes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so those have to go into that bar there. Yes.
I messed up on this one. I wrote the wrong one.
Okay, so let me give you another piece of paper. Okay, I know this feels a little unnerving doing this, but think of it like our science experiments, okay? It's really like the science experiment. Okay, Travis, do you want to go ahead and just lift those off, and you can come to the piano. And I'll hold it for you while you play it. They're all labeled. All the letters there, it's all labeled for you. So I'm going to be like the music stand, okay? So you're starting, you've got A, then B. Is that G? I'm sorry, I can't read it. G, and then A. Okay, so let's see, yeah, your A is right here, right there. Oh, wait, hold on. There, all right, try again. Okay, very good. And this is all correct. He's got a quarter note, a half, 2/8, and then 2 half notes. Okay, so can you get your recorder out and see if you can do it with the recorder? Okay, go ahead and give it a try with the recorder. Because we have that same part of the scale on the recorder. Okay, super good. That's super good.